I am a little late on these, but we have the final 6 cards for Infinite Forbidden, and it is gonna be interesting to look at these cards after sitting on them for a little bit. So we have 3 monsters and 3 spells total between 2 different posts, so let's take a look at it. We have the first one being Broomy. It is a light level 2 spellcaster tuner effect monster with 700 attack and defense. You can only use this card's name effect once per turn, and it cannot be used for a synchro material except for the synchro summon of a level 8 or lower monster. Honestly, already off to the bat is a very good card because it is a tuner monster and a spellcaster, so you can run it in something like White Woods. You can reveal this card and one other monster in your hand. You cannot special summon from the extra deck nor declare attacks with monsters for the rest of the turn except synchro monsters. Special summon one of the revealed monsters, and if you do, banish the other. So realistically, in synchro decks, this is actually going to be quite useful because of what it does. Being able to get you a free body on board, and it kind of explains why Bron could have been banned, but this cannot be a good explanation. It was probably because meta play. But Broomy is already off to a good start, and realistically, I really like this card. We have Manori. It is a level 1 Earthwing Beast Tuner effect monster with 0 attack and defense and up to thrice per turn. If your opponent normals or special summons the monsters, you can target one of them, toss a coin, and if its head, change that monster to face up attack position. If its tails, change it to face down defense position. Once per turn, if a monster's is flipped face up or a face up monster is changed to face down defense position while this monster is on the field, even during the damage step, you can target one of them, change it to face up attack or face down defense position. It's a real gimmicky card, but it could be popped up in niche scenarios, but overall, Manori is a very, very interesting card. And then we have Malard. It is a light beast effect monster 100 and 100. If this card is the only card in your hand, you could special summon it. Kind of like an Infernity action here. If this card is special summoned by its first effect, its attack becomes 2500 until the end of your opponent's turn. If this card battles an opponent's monster, you take any battle damage they would have taken instead. If you take damage from a battle involving this card, change its attack to 0. Then if you have 2,000 or more or less life points, its attack becomes 5,000. So it's a 5,000 beat stick for a level 2 light beast, but honestly, I don't see this being used. Maybe a one-up in certain niche scenarios like Broomy. But let's get into the actual good card of the bunch. We have Trap Gatherer. It is a equipped spell card, and you can only use the second and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. The equipped monster gains 400 attack for each trap in your graveyard. After damage calculation, when the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle or inflicts damage to them, you can send this card to the graveyard, set one trap from your graveyard. And if a face-up traps you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card instead. It is an interesting tech that you can run in something like Makanko, being able to give them an additional 400 attack per each trap in your grave, or you can also run it in Infernal Blight for another trap, or for another equipped spell that could tutor out a trap from your grave, which could be very useful in the long run. And then we have Interdimensional Matter Translocator. This card was the most hilarious card I've read from this set, and being a continuous spell, it is very nice. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target one monster on the field, banish it, then return it to the field. This card completely outs Appaloosa. You just target the Appaloosa, banish it, bring it back, and it has no material. Or no attack to negate. So realistically, this is one of the funniest cards ever. If your opponent activates a card effect, you can target one face-up monster whose effects are negated, banish it, then return it to the field. It just says, oh, you impermed my negate, let me banish it and put it back. And then the third effect, before resolving an opponent's card effect that targets this face-up card, banish this card until the end phase of the next turn. This card just says no to everything. It banishes stuff that's negated, so you can bring it back, so it could be unnegated. It dodges targeting destruction, and it makes it where you can out things that have protections from being able to be destroyed or whatever, or if it has a negate that's live, you could turn it off like Appaloosa. So realistically, this is a funny card, and I think it might see play in the future, depending on how the game goes. And then finally, we have the last card, and it is the character that's on I'll Finish You, and it is BBS Backsite, and it's a continuous spell card. Each time the effect of a card other than BBS is activated, you can place one access counter on this card, maximum 10. Monsters on your field gain 100 attack for each access counter on this card. And if an access counter is placed on this card and the number of access counters reach 10, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, set one continuous trap from your deck that has an effect that special summons itself as a monster. Also, the card set by this effect can be activated the same turn it was set. So I was thinking that this card goes good with the Top Hat hair along with its continuous trap card. So I was thinking you can activate this, do your combo, it would have 10, go into the link, so set Apophis, and then use this to set the apparition, or it was Silhouette trap card. So realistically, we got 3 cards for continuous traps in this support, and realistically, I'm very ecstatic about it. Just for trap monsters getting support, it's all Eldritch support when you really look at it. But overall, all 6 of these cards are definitely interesting, to say the least. They might have some niche meta play, but also might have some niche play in sealed formats if you are up for those. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the rest of Infinite Forbidden. Next up on the list, we have Animation Chronicles 2024, Rage of the Abyss, and probably the Tactical Tridex coming up shortly for the news in May. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. I hope you guys did enjoy, and see you all in the next video.